Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, Wednesday, July 14th. Yeah, July 14th. We are here. I'm here. Todd's here. Mr. Forget his shoes to play pickup hoops.
Yeah, man. First time in my life, 35 years, this weekend, forgot my shoes, man. Whoa. And I used to clown kids like that growing up. Like, never in my life.
That was the funniest thing ever. He just said, yo, I forgot my sneakers.
And I was rubbing my eye for like 3 hours because it wouldn't start watering. I think I was just out of it that day.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was a very, very funny Sunday. My shin still hurts for some reason. I don't know.
I'll be good this week, though.
Oh, yeah. We're playing again Sunday, yeah. Hopefully nobody calls a moving screen.
Yeah, I don't even know how to comment on that.
Guys, speaking of basketball, the NBA Finals game 4 is tonight, but game 3 was Sunday. They got a couple days off, which is kind of normal, but a little unusual, a little weird that there was no games for 2 days. But
I wasn't feeling it. But I think they also did it because of the
All-Star
Home
game.
Run Derby and the All-Star game, too.
Yeah.
You heard it? We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah. That's a valid point.
What, the All-Star game?
No, that you made. I wasn't thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't thinking that.
I just happened to come across it on, I was on my iPad. I happened to see it. I didn't watch any of it. But then I remember they almost had a mass shooting at the All-Star game. And all. Like, thank God we got maids that do their jobs nowadays.
Because usually the NBA Finals is in June, so they don't even cross paths with the MLB All-Star, their All-Star festivities. So, but game 3, it's been the Giannis show.
Definitely.
Giannis once again, he had back-to-back 40-point games. Game 2 they lost, but he had no type of help in game 2. In game 3, people actually did what they're supposed to do and made open shots.
Yeah, game 2, Middleton, he's had a rough night. Kind of like in game 3, how Booker just had a rough night.
Bro.
So, but one thing I'm noticing with the Bucks, if their big 3 plays and produces, they win. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just how it is. Like, because if you notice, it's either Giannis plays, Middleton does his thing, or Holiday does his thing, but they both don't really come to play every game. And Giannis has been killing them with 40. But Phoenix, man, their formula is they need all 5 guys in double figures, because once they start getting anybody involved, that's when they're at their best.
Yeah. Also, one thing to notice with the Bucks, when Giannis gets off the court, they look bad when he's off the court. Like, they look bad when he's not on the court.
Kind of like LeBron in Cleveland, his first stint. Because he's so ball dominant, you know what I mean? That they don't really know what to do when he's not out there. But it's like, you guys are all pros. Just go back to playing basketball. Yeah. I do like how Brook Lopez is playing like a big.
Finally, right? Right. Right. Yeah, and the thing you notice about this one is they just dominated. They dominated Phoenix inside. Phoenix was, once Ayton got into foul trouble, it was barbecue chicken all day because the Bucks it seemed like they were getting every offensive rebound, everything was down in the paint. Phoenix couldn't handle it.
Yeah, they're plus 11 in reboundings, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, man, it's all about, in the playoffs, you got to focus on the little things, and you know what I mean? Rebounds, turnovers, fouls. How many times you allow a guy to get to the line and get free buckets comes into play at the end of the game, and can you make free throws? Because in these wins and losses, the team that wins is killing the other team in the free throw percentage. Mm-hmm. Like game 3, Milwaukee shot 77% to Phoenix's 69%, which is rare for Phoenix. It's usually around 75 to 80%.
Mm-hmm. And Giannis went to the line 17 times? 17 times in this game, which, and he was making them. That's another thing. He went there 17 times, and he was making them. And game 2, he went there 18 times. He was making it. So what's that, like 30, 37, 30, around like 35, 36?
Yeah, 35, 36. But the way he plays the game, he has to make free throws because he's not a shooter, so he's going to get fouled, and he has to go and produce at the line. He has to make free throws.
Yeah, definitely. That was another interesting thing in this game. There was a stretch where Devin Booker was just on the bench for a while. It was
the rest of the game?
Yeah, I was just like, because there was a point. It was like a 4 or 5 point game, and then he sat down and never got back in the game. I'm just like,
it's just one of them things. He was just having an off night. I think the way Phoenix was playing as a whole without him and coming back, I think just let him ride this wave. they probably just said this isn't booked his night tonight.
Yeah.
So, just give him the next game. I doubt he's going to go 1 for 7 again from the 3-point line.
And the game was kind of lost in the second quarter because they started off really hot. They were making plays, and then I think the Bucks went on like a 20-2 run or somewhere around there.
It was something like
yeah,
that.
It was a crazy run, and it seemed like there was a lid over the basket for Phoenix, and that hoop was wide open for the Bucks. They were just doing whatever they want in this one.
Yeah, and Holiday, you could see he was a little more comfortable in this game, hitting back-to-back threes, getting to the cup, just being more aggressive. Because Giannis, we get it, he's a Superman in his team, but he needs a Batman. He needs somebody, Wonder Woman or something. Cyborg. He needs somebody out there with him.
Besides that, but the play of the game was Cam Johnson, who I saw Cam Johnson play in college. I saw him in person play in college. I know he had that in him. Granted, he's 6'9", but I know he had that in him. And the way PJ Tucker's face was acting like it was a charge. Like, no, dude.
Once a dude jumps in the air, you can't slide under him expecting him. For one, it's about safety.
Yeah.
I'm glad he dunked on him because nobody got injured.
Yeah.
He jumped from deep.
Yeah.
And thank God he's 6'9", too. So he could finish that dunk, because that could have been ugly for both parties. But you just can't. You got to get there before he jumps. Yeah. You can't get there right under him.
And sometimes it's just good to make a business decision and not end up on the internet.
Yeah, it's better if you just watch that dunk happen.
Yeah.
But the way from how far he jumped from, I didn't even think. Nobody thought he was going to dunk it.
I did not know he had that in him. I didn't know he had that in him at all. I was like, oh, okay. Cam Johnson.
And he's actually, this is kind of like his coming out party.
Yeah.
Because he's been great all playoffs.
Yeah, so.
Very efficient, very consistent.
Yeah. What they all say with Phoenix, they have a good opportunity to win Game 4 tonight because they've only lost 3 road games all postseason. So they got an opportunity to do it, but they just have to keep DeAndre Ayton out of foul trouble and somehow keep Giannis off the free throw line because
they got to build that wall.
Yeah,
they can't let him get in the paint.
Pretty much,
figure out a way.
Yeah, I'd rather let them folks shoot the ball instead of just him dominating the paint the way he did. All right, and some other NBA news. New head coach was hired by the Orlando Magic, former Mavericks assistant Jamal Mosley. I don't know too much about him, but I just know he's been on the Mavericks staff for a while. I think this is another. I like the move. It's intriguing to see a new head coach, to get a first-time head coach too, to get this opportunity. I just want to see how well he does because the Magic, granted, they're not the best team, but they have some assets and they have some young talent that he could probably help develop.
I know he went undrafted, so he got his opportunity in the league, and we're all about welcoming guys that had experience in the league somewhat.
Yeah.
Just to get on the benches because they have way more experience and way more knowledge than some of these guys who are just given opportunities.
Yeah.
But I mean, change is good. So as long as he can show that they're making steps and strides to improve the organization. That's all we could ask for. Because every guy that played in the league or was been on the bench isn't gonna just completely turn a franchise around.
Yeah.
But baby steps are still steps.
It's definitely gonna take time because this is a young team. They got a lot of young players on this team, and I think they have the top 10 draft pick coming in this year as well. And you also got to look at it. He was a player development. He was in the player development for, that was his first role before he moved up to an assistant head coach. So with that experience and with all these young guys that they have, he can help mold them and build something right there because, Orlando is a nice place to be, a nice place to play, nice weather. You got Disneyland, and if you're winning,
yeah, and that's one thing I don't think certain coaches who don't have the basketball experience understand is the player development. Because them guys being athletes themselves, they know what it takes to improve. So they know what to look for in certain guys and how to get the best out of them. Yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah, and then especially if you see that the improvement that some of the young guys from the Mavericks, especially Luka, that they have. So those guys in the Magic could look at that. He's like, wow, he was with Luka for 3 years, and Luka turned into an All-Star and kind of like an MVP conversation. So imagine what he could do for us if we listen to what he tells us and we put in the work that he's gonna have us do.
It's always easy to listen to somebody that's been in it, that's did it, compared to somebody that thinks they have a clue.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting to see the coaching staff he puts around too, because that's also the big thing is the who you surround yourself with, and who to help these guys. Because 21 and 51, it might be another 21 season, but it's probably gonna be like, okay, it's a 21 season, but did we improve from last year? Did each player improve the individual skills, and did we collectively improve as a team? Because it takes time. It takes a while it takes a little time to learn how to win in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, coaching, you play the experience, you need the right personnel around, you need some vets. So it's a whole formula you need.
Yeah.
You need certain ingredients to make it successful.
Yeah, and I just like this way that the NBA, some of these teams are going into looking at new candidates for coaching, and we'll see what happens with the Magic. So good luck to them. All right. Let's go to Team USA basketball. Everybody's making a big deal out of these exhibition games. I mean, they lost to Nigeria. They lost to Argentina. They beat Australia. They beat Argentina last night. And the overreaction in the sports world and sports media is just so crazy, especially when you're like, people, it's an exhibition. These are used for them to figure out how to play with each other, because this group of players haven't played with each other yet. It's not like the previous 3 Olympics when those guys played with each other in the FIBA championships, and then they went on to the Olympics to play. It's like this is like a new group, so they got to get used to each other.
And the Olympians, some of them guys were together for 8 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, man, don't overreact. I think the U.S. is just so used to being on top of everything in regards to sports, so the powerhouse, so how we losing 2 in a row, because those other teams have NBA rosters too. Like, I seen a meme on Instagram talking about, they said something about, like, people get excited when St. Mary's beats Gonzaga.
Yeah.
But aren't that excited that Australia got a bunch of St. Mary's players that just beat the USA team? So it's nothing out of the ordinary. So it's like, stop being so surprised that other countries have guys that can compete the same level as us.
Right? I'm sure, like all these other countries that are probably going to qualify got at least 1 or 2 guys.
And Australia
NBA
got
guys.
like a whole, I think, 4 or 5 guys that play in the league.
Australia got a whole factory of building basketball players from like their teenage years, not even from their young until.
I think the biggest surprise was Nigeria, just because what happened to them a couple years ago, getting beat by like 30 or something, 40 points, and like they got guys that are in the league too.
Yeah, they got
one guy that goes by a different name. I didn't know he goes by, I think, Gabe Vincent in the NBA, but his name is like Gabe something. His actual African name. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the leading scorer for Nigeria.
Hey man, it's not surprising. The Nigerian team got I think they got like 4 or 5 guys that are in the league. So everybody just likes to overreact. But when the U.S. puts their best of the best in the Olympics, it's like they'll be out there getting bored because they'll be winning by 40 no matter who the other team has.
And let's just give them an American term. You play harder for that money, right? Yeah. So the money ain't on the line. They ain't playing that hard.
And once again, it's an exhibition game. These dudes aren't worried about the exhibition game. They use the exhibition game to see, just some of them use it to do some stuff they was probably doing at practice and stuff.
Nothing's on the line.
Yeah.
You play somebody for money, a whole different monster come out.
Yeah.
You play for that gold, you're going to see the monster come out.
Yeah, definitely. And also, this team, they got some other guys that are currently playing right now. So
like Booker.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. But
I think Middleton, and I think there's one more. I think there might be one more person.
I don't know what the other one is. Yeah, but we was talking about, too, like, they're giving young guys a chance and opportunity, too. Like, last game was Argentina. They had Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
Jared Jacobs, I think that's his name. Like, guys that had since in the NBA that aren't in the NBA anymore. Guys that are young. So it's like, they do every exhibition. They give a couple guys under the bench some opportunity to see what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, just like, right? This is basically what it is. Everybody's just overreacting. Like, the Olympics haven't even started yet. Lord knows if the Olympics will actually even finish because, there's COVID outbreaks going on over there. So that's another thing to worry about.
And I realized how serious this stuff wasn't when I tried to find these games and I couldn't even find the stats for them. Yeah. I had to go on NBA.com and I had to search through NBA.com to find it. So these aren't even things you can just search and find. Yeah. So it's not even that serious. The media isn't even taking it that serious.
Only certain folks are just completely overreacting to it. And now if this was actually the first game of the Olympics, they'd be like, oh, okay, but no, we just gotta wait and see because once again, they're probably just using it to just get a little better. And you gotta consider like Kevin Durant's the best player on this team. This dude just played a 7-game series, number one, and he's still recovering from a Achilles injury. So
and more peanut gallery. So there's so many people that can just type away and have an opinion. So it's like, bro, don't even listen to most of those people.
It's like that. I don't even bother watching the exhibition games. Those are more so just for the fans to see these guys before they go out.
I did watch Argentina because I didn't want them to see 0-3 though. I couldn't do the 0-3.
I didn't watch it. I watched I watched the highlights. It was Luis Scola is still playing.
I did not see him on the court. I must have caught that at the back end of the game.
He's still on there.
Scola has some game.
Yeah, now he looks like he should be working security at one of them techno clubs or something.
I definitely haven't seen him.
All right, we got some soccer for you guys. The Euro 2020 Cup, Italy defeated England, won in penalty kicks, that's when I woke up. I was asleep for most of this. I woke up during the penalty kicks, and defense wins championships, and Italy's goal, he made 2 big saves in those penalty kicks. I felt bad for the dudes from England because.
Why?
Because of the racism that it got right after. Because I knew it was. I knew everybody knew. Everybody was like, yeah, those dudes about to get some racist stuff being said about them, and it was true. And literally after it happened, it was true. But hey, man, this is Euro soccer, man. This stuff is exciting. I like how games end in penalty kicks for some reason.
I just like watching European soccer. Yeah. I can't watch MLS, American soccer, just because that's why they bring so many guys from over here to try to make the game interesting. But let's talk about the racism stuff. This is why like Giannis had an issue with Greece. How they only want to embrace him when he's doing well and call him the Greek freak, but when he does bad, they call him the African, whatever. You know what I mean? Need to stop all this. You got these guys that are part of your country, and they push your sports to the upper echelon of sports. So it's people with respect. Yeah, I don't understand it.
Especially when some of those players, they're still kids. They're like 18, 19, and you're doing that. Like they're still kids and and they're in a stage on that type of stage to try to win a championship. Like that's a lot of pressure for any kid.
You know me. Either be black or white, and I don't mean like race or color. I mean either hate me all the time or love me all the time. Yeah. Don't love me just because I'm a black man winning for your club, and then when we lose, you hate us just because we're black men losing for your club. Yeah. Like, nah, I need all or nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I respect that.
Yeah, that's usually how it always goes because we've seen it before. I think we've seen it with one of I forget his name, but he was on Italy. He played for Italy. He had the mohawk. I forget his name. Yeah, I forget. He talked about that. Some of his experiences with fans and the racism that fans gave towards him when like he would mess up and stuff like that. Like you could have a sit down with a whole bunch of black players in these European countries, and they'll tell you you'll get the same exact story, and it's just like it's never that serious.
But see, that's when we talk about like certain groups and places around the world, how we look at some is white and some is not white, but even though they're all white, when they come to America, that's why I say they're all up in arms, because as you see how it is, they're all racing their own countries, and when they come here, they want to be called different things, but then when we look at black men, they're all like, oh no, we're all white together. So like, let's be real here.
Yeah, that was sad. But congratulations to Italy though. That was they were this was a good bounce back for them because they had missed the Olympics. The last Olympics they had missed it to qualify for it. So this was kind of a little like redemption for them just to get back to being on top because Italy usually one of the top 5 teams in the world.
I think this is Messi's first time winning this, right?
Messi ain't on the Italy team.
He ain't?
No.
He just won a championship.
Probably for Barcelona.
You sure?
Yeah, Messi ain't on.
I don't know.
Messi's Argentinian.
Oh yeah, you're right. They won something though. My bad. My bad.
Maybe they did. Maybe like they won the cup over.
Yeah, he legit just won. So I was I got them mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yo, they both white. So like, I know Argentinians consider Spanish, but man, they white too. They just speak Spanish.
This dude here, man.
I mean,
lost my train of thought.
Pedro can disagree with me if he wants, but he probably feels the same way I do. He Dominican, he black. Nah, but in all the fun though, Argentina, they are Hispanic people though, but
hockey.
They lied to me.
All right, hockey. Last week, the Stanley Cup happened. Game 5 happened the day after we got off air, but the Tampa Bay Lightning won back their second straight Stanley Cup championship last week. I mean, Tampa Bay's turning into a little title town for some reason down there. That's 3 championships already for them.
Initials. TB.
And this was a defensive game. The only goal that was scored in the second inning, but the Lightning's goalie, let me see if I can pronounce his name correct. Veselvetsky. This dude had 20. Yeah, that's how I don't know. That's the best I can do. 22 saves. He had 22 saves on this one, and the saves that he had were crazy because there were a lot of shot attempts that were like right there, and he was, I don't know, hockey goalies.
For one, if you're a hockey goalie, you got to have some cojones.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how, like when you start playing hockey, you got to be a crazy little boy to be able to deal with pucks coming at you all day, every day.
At the speed, too.
Every speed, like, know the man. And your whole life is something just always flying at you. I just couldn't deal with that. Like,
it's and your hand-eye coordination.
And they're pretty flexible, too. You know, I went to prep school, and luckily my prep school was a hockey school. Some of them guys were amazing. Told you, I graduated with like 2 guys that got drafted. And one guy was drafted as a sophomore. Yeah. You know what I mean? One of them made it, though. Mm-hmm. Made it for the Flyers. Jamie Fritz. Yeah. Played for UNH. But, like I said, like, their plyometrics is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Just hockey is just one of those sports. It's like, man, for one, if you don't care about having teeth, you are a different breed of animal because you're a different breed. You're a different breed because I don't care. I need my teeth. I don't be smiling with no
when
teeth.
I see hockey players, I wonder if they're already married before they lose them, or do they get them wives with them missing? Because you got to have some cojones to go holler at a lady with some teeth missing.
Yeah, you got to have some type of game. I need to meet some hockey players, like some actual NHL players, and ask them like how that works. The ones that ain't got no teeth.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like. Hockey kind of like basketball. They had their own type of groupies. Yeah. Like hockey players, they kind of get like the biker chicks. Yeah. That's the vibe I get. Like similar vibe. We can't get no biker chicks. We don't ride bikes. That's the vibe I get. Like
hockey players get the girls that could chug beers. Like,
man, she's biker chicks.
But this is good for Tampa Bay, too, because Tampa Bay, once again, it's known as a retirement place. It's known it's like my I say bougie Miami or a little, call it like a little bit more bougie Miami.
I don't know, because Miami kind of wild.
Yeah, Miami's wild. Tampa Bay is like a little more respectable. It's just all the retired folks go there. It's folks that retired.
Whenever I'm in Florida, everything feels the same except for Miami.
Yeah.
Like everything, like Fort Myers, and they all kind of seem similar. Yeah. You get to Miami, it's like, oh, this is Miami.
Yeah, and then, when you think of Tampa Bay, you hardly think of winning or anything. Technical difficulties, but that's congratulations to the Lightning, man. That's 2 in a row. Now imagine if the Bucks win the Super Bowl again. So you're like,
I'm not trying to imagine that.
You have 2 teams. That'll be like, then if I'm Tom Brady, I'll just be like, this is the Tom Brady effect. But congratulations to the Lightning on winning the Stanley Cup for that. All right. We are going to go. We had an interview today. We had our second studio interview. Lynn Classical. So I had him on before, but he's a soccer coach. But he got thrown in to be the track coach because they didn't have no track coach.
Oh.
So him and Mike Schena, and then him and the Lynn Classical boys soccer coach. They both had the coach the track team over there. So the girls girls track and field actually won the GBL Cup.
Okay, that's dope.
So
that's dope.
we talked to him about that. So check out this +1, and then we're gonna come back to the highlights. Hello and welcome to another edition of the +1 interview, and we have our second studio guest for these segments. This is a second studio guest. Coach Mike Schena. First item for soccer, they won the GBL Cup. Then he got thrown into the fire to just be the track and field coach, and they win that one too. Todd, what's going on, Coach?
Oh, yeah. How you doing? Yeah, everything's good.
Everything good, man?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Pleasure to have you here with us. It's quite the spring season that you had, huh?
Yeah, to say the least, right? Yeah, it was fun. It was everything you expect when you go in there. You just want the kids to have a good time. Actually, you don't expect to go in there and start winning and doing your thing. It's just understanding. I've never coached track before. Understood it because just being around it.
Yeah.
My daughter was there doing. She ran track, so I really was interested in it, but never did it. But it's all the events, but you think you know the events until you actually get in the fire, like you just said.
Yeah.
So. It was good.
They had you and Coach Eric Marino. They threw both you guys in there. Can you talk to me a little bit about that situation? How that just happened?
It just happened. That's exactly what you just said. What ended up happening? I think due to the fact it was a COVID year.
Yeah.
You sit back and our season ended, and almost kind of right when our season ended, track started. So I was talking to Mr. Devin. He's like, we don't have a coach right now. Are you interested? Go through the right protocol. I was like, yeah, why not? He's like, 'cause it's right now, and as of right now, we don't have a coach. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm not letting these kids down. I says, whatever the scenario is, I applied for it, went in for it, and he says, hey, you got the job. I go, when do I start? He goes, tomorrow. I go, all right, let me get all those sheets together, let me figure this out. And that's kind of how it started. They needed someone, and last thing I would ever do for any program, especially when I'm a part of it, is to let it just go. I wanted to be a part of it, and like I said, those kids will go through the brick wall for you.
How many kids did you guys have participate this year? Because it was such the COVID really just did a lot for a lot of student athletes. But how many kids were you guys able to have participate in track and field this year?
Yeah, it's a great question. After all said and done, we think it was only 16 total. Mm-hmm. And I guess in the previous years, not following it as much, we had up to 40, 50. Mm-hmm. But what I did notice, having conversations with every coach in the GBL, was they had the same problems. Mm-hmm. When I say problems, the same situations. Numbers were so down. And what ended up happening, because 7 out of the 8 schools, everybody was already out of school. Mm-hmm. So their seniors were already cashed out at that point. So a lot of the numbers were diminished on that. School's already out for a lot of them. Mm-hmm. So that's what ended up happening. So the numbers were really, really low. So you really had to get out there and figure out, all right, you're doing this and you're doing that just to get, to get everything organized.
And also, it's also interesting is a lot of football players actually do track for their spring sport, and if they don't play baseball, and they're kind of in a predicament too because they just finished football season.
Right.
And then, as you said, the seniors graduated, and, so it's kind of like they might have just wanted to take a little break and not participate in track this year. So it was the predicament was kind of wild.
Oh, because everything's just overlapped. We don't know if it was a fall 2, fall 3. It gets to the point where exactly what you just said. They need their bodies to rest. In a situation like that where it was back to back to back with no rest, I think that happened a lot too. And it was just, this is what you have. It is what it is. These are the numbers. Have fun with it, and we tried to make it as fun as possible for these kids.
Talk to me about the overall season. Just talk to me about the students and some of the competitions that they were doing and what they were excelling in the meets or whatever events that they did. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So. Again, what I've noticed is, when you first take over the program, is just understanding what you have for athletes and everything else. So what I've noticed with our competition is, speed. We played against the Riviers. We played against the Medfords. Some speed. So we kind of generated a lot of practices around that because we didn't know. I was just trying to analyze who's going where and how. So we were just trying to figure all that out. So I would say that, by and large, it was strictly competitive across the board. I think we finished 5-2, but every meet was really close. So it was just understanding everything. So we actually excelled in the 4x1, which is a relay. The relay, yep. Relay was good. We actually excelled, believe it or not, in the javelin. We've had girls that have done it for the first time and went out there and just understood it. We're watching YouTube videos and understanding it. And before you know it, I got this coach and just the heart that they had. But I would say our power were the triple jump. We excelled the 2 mile. I'll tell you, the long distance, we had great girls that just excelled in the long distance, and that was kind of our strength.
That was my field.
Oh, really? What did you do, the 2 mile?
No, my brother did the 2 mile. They had me do the 1 mile. They were like, figured if your brother's doing the 2,
you better
you might as well do the 1. I was like,
oh, that's great.
I didn't want to do it though.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, it takes a lot to do that. I was getting tired just watching them do it. But yeah, long distance was kind of our strength in the 4x. I would say that because I think that's what kind of put us over the top to make us differential from the other schools.
What was it? Because they couldn't qualify. There was no state tournament for that too. Would there have been any players that would have qualified for states if there was a state tournament?
Yes.
Or that did qualify for states?
We definitely had one that definitely would have qualified, Miriam, and she definitely would have, with the 2 mile, she was just nonstop. She just won that event. She took that almost every time. I think one time she finished second, but she definitely would have qualified if there was a state. And I also think we had Jada Mateo, one of my soccer girls. She is, I'll tell you, man, fast as lightning. And she had just regular sneakers on and she went up there and with the 100, she just sprint. She just, wow, was she fast. And she definitely could have qualified too. But which is good, It just seemed to get representation that way. Why not,
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good thing that, as you said, one of your soccer players got to experience two championships in such a short period of time. I think that'll carry over as you guys get ready for a soccer season.
That's a great question. Per our conversation before, it's when you're here at that level. When I say at that level, when you win, and again, in the pandemic year, you win the GBL Cup. Everybody wants you now. Everybody wants to beat you. So we have to, right here, we have to stay there. It's tough. It's easier to go from here to there, but when you're here, it's a lot harder. You get a lot of cheap. Are we ready? Absolutely. I'm hoping we can just maintain the momentum we had in just how we focused every day on practices. I think we can be there, but it's going to be tough, We become everybody's championship. From the first game you played to the last one, they just want to beat us now.
Yeah, now talk to me about the schedule-wise, because it's such a quick, it's going to be a quick turnaround. Well, it is a quick turnaround because now we're getting ready to go back to a normal sports calendar, So the fall sports, they're gonna kick off practices and camps are gonna kick off next month. Then they'll just talk to me about you guys and just your set schedule for the next for the rest of this month, and then as you move forward with camp.
Right, and it's we sit back and we try to figure out, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I try to look at it as a positive. They're taking a little bit of a break after the season's over, rather it be track, because I did have some girls playing from my soccer team that did track, or the soccer season that just finished. I look at it as it's still, a lot of things are still fresh in their mind, and they can take what we've learned this year and continue this year and kind of focus on what we did. With a little bit of a break, so it wasn't a constant, go at it per se. Captain's practices are starting already. They're doing their thing at captain's practices. Tryouts already start the 23rd of August, and then we have 3 preseason games that kind of reflect that following week. So it's going to be. You can only hope that they can want to still, the interest is still there. Sometimes they like too much of something can really frustrate a kid. But hopefully this just gives me the opportunity to just say, all right, girls, we're here again. Remember what just happened. You must still feel that feeling, right? It's still fresh. We just won it. You finally get your first banner for soccer. You finally get your first banner for track. And this is how you feel. Let's keep this momentum going. So that's kind of the attitude I have to approach with the kids.
And do you sense that with the students that now that they're going to be back to a normal school schedule where no Zoom classes, where they're actually going to be in school, then go to practice instead of like being at home, then they got to go to practice from home and stuff. Like, do you think that'll bring a more level of normalcy for them and just be like, okay, this is how we operate?
Again, that's an awesome question because this is the first time we've ever encountered a Zoom situation. So I kind of sit back. I saw that half of them were home resting and they couldn't wait to go to practice.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be, oh, we're back in school, a little more fatigue? Are we gonna, it can kind of go both ways. I'm hoping that they're in school all day. They can't wait to go on and play soccer right across the street, kind of just get the momentum going because it can actually hurt you that way too. It's like, oh, now we're back at school. Now they're just a little more, they have to focus more. Let's face it, right? So hopefully that can just be a plus. Yeah. But we'll see,
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, time is running out for this segment, but soccer's coming up. Fall sports is coming up, so we're going to do our normal year-round tours of schools and stuff. So be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. You're the best.
By.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you again.
You guys have been watching the Plus One interview. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, and we are back. I want to thank Mike Schena for that. That was hilarious when he told me. He was just like, the AD came up to him. He's like, you guys want to be the track coaches? And he was like, he said they applied. He was like, all right, here, you guys start today. I'm like, oh.
I need to give me a job like that. Come off me an opportunity to coach anyway.
Also, if anybody knows the St. Mary's baseball coach, tell him we need him to come here with his team so we can acknowledge their state championships. I've been trying to reach him. I called him a few times, still ain't get reached back. We got to acknowledge the state championship they just got. Come on now. Come here and holler at us.
Congrats to my alma mater.
Yeah.
Always.
Technically, this is like back-to-back for them because, last year they didn't have a season. So they couldn't defend their state championship from the previous year. So
congrats to them, man. Definitely congratulations.
That was pretty good. All right, let's go to the highlights. We're going to start off with the Lights Out Summer League. As you can see, I got a shirt. I got the Lights Out League shirt that they gave me. So check this out. Check the highlights out.
Supporting local business.
Make sure to check out the Lights Out Summer League. Games are tomorrow. They got some games slated for tomorrow. Check them out. All right. Also, Lynn Parks and Recreation League started this week and stuff. So check that out too. Those leagues are always fun. It's good for the kids to play in that Lynn Parks League. All right. High school hoops throwback. We're gonna go back to 2004. Lynn Classical versus Swampscott. And our last one is some high school football, 2003, Marblehead Lynn Classical. All right, and we are back. Let's go around the world of sports real quickly. All right, last night, Major League Baseball All-Star game. The American League won 5-4, I believe the score was. Let me double check that score. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he was the MVP.
That's
5-2, 5-2. He was MVP. That's kind of wild for him, because his dad played for such a long time, and now he's taking the mantle, and he's killing it this year.
That's my second favorite baseball player, his dad. So You know, Griffey's always gonna be number one.
Yeah.
But so it's dope seeing Vlad Jr. do his thing.
Yeah.
That's definitely dope.
Yeah, definitely. And then Ohtani, he became the first player to be an All-Star as a pitcher and hitter.
I'm still trying to get used to how to say his name properly.
Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani.
He's a different breed. Like, he is a different breed. Like, the stuff he's doing this year is like, man. And the thing with baseball this year is like, there's so many young players that are making the game more exciting. You know, like when they hit home runs, the home run celebrations, the stuff they do afterwards. Like even the guy Tatis Jr.
From
the Padres,
The
like,
Padres.
He's nice. You got Tim.
You see his entrance?
Nah.
They did the put my hand on your shoulder thing with the whole. I was like, whoa, like come on, a little too much, but
Yeah, Tim Anderson. There's a lot of young guys in baseball that are making the game a little more enjoyable to watch for the non-casual baseball fans.
you need it because that's what's going to keep the non-casual people there.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Just because, like, oh, he did a backflip. No, I mean a bat flip, not a backflip, but you might see one of those sooner or later. But yeah, the bat flips is crazy too. And before I want to say the older gentlemen, the traditionalists, they didn't like the bat flip, but now you're realizing that you need something to keep baseball afloat or it's going to sink.
Yeah, pretty much. And to be honest, there's a lot of people that actually enjoy baseball. Like people of all backgrounds.
Joe's a fanatic when it comes to baseball.
Yeah,
He be schooling me on the Red Sox.
I be watching games, but I just watch like last 4 innings. I can't watch all 9. Like,
I can watch playoff baseball.
Yeah, me
I
too.
can watch playoff
Yeah,
baseball.
I can too.
Regular season baseball, I just feel like it's like regular season basketball. Like,
yeah, and it also depends who's playing too.
Yeah.
It depends. Man, Red Sox, Yankees. I'm
yeah.
watching just to root against them. All right, NFL. This one's crazy. Just came out today. Richard Sherman. He was booked today at 6 a.m. West Coast time and he's being investigated for burglary, domestic violence,
and I heard he
a hit and run
hit
too.
and run,
Yeah, he's like
flee, like
fleeing.
all
So
type
I'm like,
of stuff. Like,
it's like you see this happening to him. You just like, because you think he's like you know how he hold himself to a high standard, but it's also could be like hits to the head and stuff like that. So you got there's a lot of stuff to be considered. Right? So right now it's an investigation.
And we've never heard about him having any issues at all.
Off the field, yeah.
So it might be one of these one moment in your life where you just kind of lose it.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can get it back. Hopefully it's not that serious. Hopefully the other parties are safe and nobody's injured. But like this is a disturbing story though.
Yeah, very disturbing. So it's the investigation is ongoing yet, so he has not yet been criminally charged in relation to anything. But
the only thing that doesn't work in his favor, he's been so boisterous over the years that I'm sure people kind of
are happy to see this.
Happy to see this. And it's like you don't want to see anybody in this light at all.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Messi and Barcelona, they agreed to a new deal, a new contract, and he's taking a wage cut, a significant wage cut, is what they said that he is taking, but still, he's still getting paid.
Yeah.
He's still getting paid. That's soccer money, man.
Yeah, he's been paid.
Yeah. All right, and also NFL training camp is starting pretty soon, so the NFL is about to get kicked back started in a couple weeks, so we'll see. It's about that time again.
Hey, Fountain Davis III, free agent. He out there getting ready, staying ready.
Definitely. All right. And yeah, that's about it. If there was any other sports news that I missed, oh well. Maybe next time. Top 10. Kawhi Leonard, he had surgery for his partially torn ACL, so he's gonna be recovering from that. I'm like this. He's gonna be on like the back end because his body's just been through so much. So
I didn't even catch him. I didn't hear nothing about that.
Yeah, I think he had that yesterday. I think that happened yesterday. Oh yeah. So on that note, we got through everything. Make sure to go to the Instagram page. We're gonna be putting up some more highlights and a whole lot of highlights coming up on that Instagram page. So make sure you go to LCTV After the Whistle. Follow that page. Go to Lynn Community Television Facebook page. Keep up with everything up to date. LynnTV.org. Catch past shows, previous shows.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I'm able to get better lighting, so I wore this shirt a couple episodes ago. This is Love for Lynn, Tommy Hill's nonprofit organization. They give out donations for people that had misfortunate situations happen in their life. So I just want to be able to, give it its proper plug that it deserved.
Definitely a good look on that. So you go follow him, Mr. Burton23 on Instagram, Mukala K on Instagram. There's a fight that was supposed to happen next week, but I don't think it's happening. Wilder and Fury. Pedro, is that canceled?
No, this Saturday.
This Saturday, right?
154 pounds, which is light. No, not light. What is it? Middleweight, junior middleweight.
Junior middleweight. Okay.
One of the twins, Jamel Charlo.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Charlo is fighting.
Okay. Yep. Make sure to check this out. Oh yeah, August 7th. Lynn's own Kyrie Todd. He's gonna be in Springfield. He got a match in Springfield. I forgot who his opponent was. He told me the other day when I saw him, but I forgot who his opponent was. But he said Springfield. He'll be out there. Good luck to that. And on that note, we are out of here. We will see you guys next week. We'll be back better than ever. So have a great weekend, everybody.